Hello, ASM fam. I didn't know whether to say good morning, good afternoon, or good night because I have no clue when you're going to be watching this. It makes me think of The Truman Show. If anyone's ever seen that movie with Jim Carrey, he always made sure to say all three. So whenever you're watching this, I hope this finds you in good health and warm and hopefully safe because I know those roads are pretty rough out there. I have a big Walmart list to go get a little bit later. So I'll be venturing out in my four-wheel drive truck, fortunately. So it won't be that bad. I'm going to try to keep this as short as I can. Like Aaron joked about, or I guess I joked about on the announcements. You can put this on double speed, especially on your phones if you're watching this, and you can just listen to it. Nothing's going to have to be necessarily visual. I will have some clickable links that you can go ahead and click on, interact with during this video. I will implement them after the fact, so that way if I'm talking about a sign-up sheet or I'm talking about the parent agenda, you can click that link and you can have that right there in front of you, either on your screen or on your computer, whatever you're using. So first and foremost, there is a link right there that you can click to look at the meeting agenda. Just a rundown of what I'm talking about. It may help you follow along. It has a lot of clickable links to certain things. A lot of them you have seen before because you know about the website, Facebook, YouTube, all that kind of stuff. And then it has like parent remind information, stuff like that. So you've seen a lot of these things before, but it also has kind of the schedule of dates and some other information that are helpful as well. So the first part of the agenda is always updated information. If you have moved, changed numbers, changed emails, anything of that nature, please let me know. Send me an email or send Leon an email. And definitely send Leon an email because he needs to change it in our church directory. But also let me know so I can make sure that I'm communicating to the right phone number or to the right address. Second on the agenda, I always have a communication section. If you're not on the parent emails, let me know. If you are a parent that hasn't placed membership here at Adams, there is a little bit of a hurdle as far as we don't collect information of those that haven't decided to be identified as a member. And so we don't have that on the email list, and I can't add you to the email list because of that hurdle there. That's not that we don't love you. It's not that we don't want you to be at church here. That's just kind of a church policy. So what I try to do, and what I'll continue trying to do, is on Remind. If you get on our Remind by texting at ASMPARE, looks like at ASMPARE, to 81010. That's the number that you text it to. It'll get you on our Remind. I have that information on the agenda. I'm going to pop it up right here on the screen. And so you should be able to join our Remind group, which I will also link the parent email to. So that way you can still get the emails without being on our email list. That's kind of my way around it. It will also pop up on our Facebook feed and even Instagram. Sometimes I try to push it out to. But Facebook page, it's not a group, it's just a page. And I'll put out information, and a lot of times emails go through there as well. So there's a lot of ways to access our emails to stay up to date. The biggest thing is if you'd rather get the email just by it going straight to your email, make sure that it's not going to your spam folder. Every time I send one out, I have to pull it from my Gmail out of there, and I haven't figured out how to change to allow that one to go through. Maybe I'm just missing something. Maybe I need to learn more about Gmail. I think I'm pretty tech savvy, but I can't figure it out. So sometimes I have to keep pulling them out of my, it goes into my promotions folder actually, because it's coming from even my address, but it looks like it's a promotion from the church. So be mindful of that and look in your spam folders and allow either Ryan at adamsblvd.org or adamsblvd at adamsblvd.org. I think that's the church email. Or maybe it's Adams Boulevard Church of Christ at adamsboulevard.org. Either way, those are the two emails that they usually come from, and you need to pull them from your spam if they keep going there. And also allow those email addresses to come through if you have the ability to do that. So as far as communication goes, everything is the same. I send out a student text, I send out a parent remind. We have email. There's the website. the website's a work in progress. That's actually on my to-do list this week with everything that has been canceled. I've been a little bit of a slacker on the website, but I need to get that up to date with all of our things that are on this list, as well as the Senior Sunday information. And we'll talk more about that later. So the website will be up to date with some information soon. One of the cool things is we have coming down the pike is we are going to have some easier ways to pay from now on. I can't reveal the whole thing to you yet. Or Leon will get mad at me, and he's watching this, so I have to be careful. But soon you will be able to click links and pay for events and specify certain things, and it's going to be really, really simple. And it'll be a lot easier than having to remember a check or cash coming to church. So be ready for that. That'll be another way that we can communicate financially. Okay, so as far as our meetings right now, we are going to keep it simple. First thing I want you guys to understand is if you, for any reason, are keeping your students home, this is not me trying to push you to do anything else than what you think is best for your family. That is not my place. I would obviously prefer everybody be up there. I will take precautions. I will spread them out. We'll wear masks, anything that we need to do for you to feel comfortable. If you need to communicate with me about that and make sure that it's going on or make sure that I'm doing a better job, I would love to hear from you. If not, regardless of that, and you still want to keep your students home, that is up to you. That is not my call. I'm not going to pressure anybody into that, and I'm not going to pressure your students. If I ask them, hey, I notice you haven't been coming on Wednesday, is it just a deal where you're trying to be safe from COVID or whatever? And they say yes, or they say, yeah, that's what my parents want, or that's what I want. I don't pressure them otherwise, right? I tell them I miss them. They can join on Zoom, which the link is sent out every week, and the link is always the same. Or they can communicate with me in text. We can FaceTime. We can do whatever if they want to have a Bible study. If it needs to be one-on-one and we go to Jude's and have a Bible study or two-on-one or small group, whatever, I'm willing to do ministry in any way that you need me. That's what I try to tell the kids. I feel like a lot of them through all of this, and I'm not blaming them because this is something none of us have experienced. We've almost become more reclusive. We've almost wanted to stay home. We haven't branched out. We haven't reached out to want to have that interaction. And so after hopefully this gets under control soon, the vaccine works, summer suppresses the virus, whatever it is, and we get back to somewhat fairly normal. Hopefully we can snap out of that and we can, get back together all as a group and become one force and uplift each other and use all of our talents to build a group that is not only uplifting to each other and while we follow Jesus, but also that brings other people in and makes everybody feel welcome. So I am in no way pressuring anybody, but I do want you to know I miss your students if I don't get to see them, and I can do ministry with them any way that you want me to. If not, hopefully I'll be trying to get some more resources or even just some more ideas of ways that you can connect at home. Like we tried to do the Bible study. We're on the last week of the Luke study, and then we're going to start another one, maybe a little less, maybe a little more topical and a little less just straight reading the Bible. Not that that's a bad thing. That's one of my goals is to get them to read the Bible on their own more, but make it where they're reading the Bible and it's more topical for the next one. And it'll be a little bit shorter each day as well. And it'll be a daily thing instead of an every other day. So hopefully we can keep up with it. Okay. So Wednesday night and Sunday mornings. Wednesday nights, if you see on the agenda there, we're going to meet from 6:45 to 7:45. A few of you have mentioned that it is difficult to get there earlier than that and get your kids fed and then get them to the church building. And since we don't have a time that the church is meeting in general, I pushed it back a little bit. So hopefully that helps. They can eat dinner at home. They can get up to the church. We'll have some snacks there, and they can get there on time. So we're going to go 6:45 to 7:45 on Wednesday nights. On your agenda, I just noticed, at least on my copy, I'll try to change it before you read this. But I just noticed it says on Sundays. It should say on Wednesdays from 6:45 to 7:45 p.m. And I will have a Zoom link. No matter how many kids we have there, I will project Zoom. We will get to see the squares on like the projector over here. While I'm teaching class in front, the camera will be pointed at the students mostly as of right now so they can see their peers. That may change because they can hear me. We'll see. That may change where it's on me since I'm the one teaching. I may do it from the side where they have kind of a side view. But either way, there will be a Zoom link to the Wednesday night meetings. On Sundays at 9:15, we're going to a little bit informally meet for a Bible class, but it's going to be more of like a discussion. Hey, let's sit down. I'll have some topics. If they have questions over any topics, we'll address them, and we'll just talk about Jesus. We'll talk about the Bible. We will bring up certain things that maybe I have on my heart, or if your students have questions about in their own reading, and we can address them together. And it'll be a time where they get to talk, hopefully, just as much, if not more than me, because I love hearing them talk about those things and ask questions and interact with God's Word. That's at 9:15. There will be some limited breakfast items, bagels. We'll see on like Pop-Tarts, maybe some fruit, stuff like that. Nothing like super duper. Maybe I'll bring donuts some mornings. I don't have a plan to do, eggs or pancakes every Sunday. Leon and Angela, shout out to you guys for cooking pancakes about a month and a half ago. Those were great and they were a big hit. I appreciate you guys for doing that. And so we may do that sometimes, but for now it'll be simple breakfast stuff, but we'll have hot chocolate, we'll have tea, we'll have coffee, we'll have creamer, we'll have all those hot drinks that they may want, and may buy some juice so they can have that as well. Get them there a little bit early before 9:15 so we can kind of start the discussion then. But if they're there at 9:15, they can still listen in, get their breakfast stuff. We'll be having class kind of over there at some round tables. Have about 4 people to a round table that's supposed to fit 8. So that way we'll be fairly spread out. We'll wear our masks when we're not eating. And we'll have class that way. So when they come to either one, have them bring their Bibles, have them bring their journals, the home group journals that I gave them, and have them bring a mask. Other than that, as far as our meetings on those 2 times, that's going to be regular. And there's not going to be any more, I guess, regular meeting times, but we will have other events and things that we do throughout these months, even though we've had a smaller group lately because others are staying safe at home, and that is completely fine. So those are the regularly scheduled meetings on Sunday and Wednesday. On Sundays, we'll finish in time to get up to church, of course. And so that shouldn't be any type of conflict. But if you are comfortable with it, send your kids to those meetings. It'll be good. Bible will be taught. I think it'll be a good interaction, and hopefully we can slowly build where more people are comfortable coming and have a big group to enjoy each other's company and join together in following after Jesus. So if you have any questions on those 2 things or things that I need to do to make it safe, let me know. Either text me, send me an email, call me, whatever it is that you need to do to have that conversation. And I can hopefully reassure you the things that I can do to make you comfortable sending your student. And if not, Zoom in on Wednesdays and let me know if there is a way. I'd love to go small groups to Jude's. I don't like coffee, but students do. And if they don't, they have smoothies, right? So stuff like that I can do and interact with your students in any way you see fit. Okay, this is the biggest part of the video to me. So if you could pay extra close attention here, this is something I'm really, really excited about. As you guys know, if you saw the sermon where Aaron left the building and I was kind of his camera guy the whole day, the majority of the sermon was done via video, even though he was live. And then he left the building, as kind of an acting job. And the video played, and then he came back in the building and he finished the sermon. Well, during that sermon, you guys probably remember the video that we had of all of our, I say all, we managed to make it to 15 homes of people who haven't been coming to church, not because they didn't want to be, but because they were staying home and being safe. The majority of them being 65 and over, right? Or 60 and up. And throughout that day, I'll be honest, I had a kind of a bad attitude about wanting to do that day because Aaron basically said, hey, I need you to videotape me. And oh, by the way, plan to be out of the office all day. And I'm thinking, well, I got stuff to do. And it's a Wednesday, and so I got class that night. And I just kept in my mind thinking, there's a lot of things I'd rather be doing. But at the end of the day, when we visit all of the people, we brought them bread, homemade bread, and jam that Lauren had baked and canned. And they loved that. But the thing they loved the most is just seeing another human, Aaron and I know, shocker, who wants to see us show up at the doorstep? But they loved it. Like, that was the thing. They just yearned for that interaction. We thought the majority of them wouldn't want us to come in. We thought they would be very cautious, and they were, but they were inviting us into their homes. They really wanted us to interact with them. Even the ones that just came to the door, we had great conversations with, and you could tell it really meant a lot to them that we went out of our way and did that. And so kudos to Aaron for an awesome idea in that regard. And so the service project I want to do, I called it the Great Abakening. It's a dumb name, I know. It's like a dad joke, but I feel like we've kind of been asleep, right? A lot of our church can't come back. We're kind of in our homes. We're enclosed. We can't get out like we want to. And so I thought the Great Abakening, a play on words with awakening, was clever. I'm probably the only one that thinks so. However, we're still going to call it that. I think it was Caitlin who said I should rename it Cookies for a Cause. So if you'd rather name it that, because that's better, because it is, then you can call it Cookies for a Cause. But what we're doing is I have a date there, February 26th and February 27th. We're going to try to accomplish this on one of those 2 days or both. But it is flexible if your family needs to do other days. But what it is I want you to go sign up at the link that's on the screen right now. Put your family's name and put how many deliveries you can make. Essentially, when you are listing how many people that you can deliver baked goods to, you are letting me know how many people or homes in our church we can put on the list and serve. Aaron and I made it to 15. There were 30 on our list. Only 15 were able to have deliveries the day that we needed to do it. And so there's at least 30 that I would like to be able to deliver to. However, we usually do a Valentine's banquet for our 50 and older crowd. We can't do that right now. And I'm switching that to the fall. So those of you that really like that event, because I love it. I think it's really good, not only for our congregation, but for our teens to interact with that crowd that they don't always get to sit and talk to and interact with. And also just to serve within our congregation. You know, we talk about love, share, serve, but it's not just serve outside, it's also serve inside. And this is a really good example of something that we're doing to replace a service project with something that I think can be just as, if not more, impactful in our current climate. So when you go sign up, you put your family name, you put how many deliveries that you can make as a family. If we have 50 total deliveries, then we can find 50 different homes that we can deliver to within our congregation. I have the weekend of the 26th and the 27th being when we're going to do this, but I will give you a list. You tell me I want 10 deliveries. I give you a list of 10 families or people. You'll have their name, their number, their address. You communicate with them when the best time is for you to do this. I would like for it to be either a week before that weekend or a week after. You know, I want it to be over that span, maybe a couple weeks span going across 3 weekends. So maybe like 16 days. But it is flexible. It can be on weekdays if they need it to be. It can be on weekends. It can be whenever you want to do it. And the reason why we're doing it this way is I want you to do a service project as a family, but I also want everybody to feel comfortable doing it. Because I think we feel comfortable baking in our own homes. And I think we feel comfortable maybe even going and delivering, even if we like knock on the door and we back up. And if you don't want to interact any more than that besides a conversation at 6 feet length with mask on, that's fine. You guys have the ability to do this however you see fit. And so I'm trying to remove any hurdles or obstacles so that all of our families and students can do this service project. Essentially, I'm trying to remove excuses. Not excuses, but just obstacles and hurdles, because I know we all are in a different place with what we feel safe doing. And so on the 26th, however, I'm going to have students up to the building, or adults if you guys want to come with your student, and we're going to do a lot of baking. And again, it can be cookies, it can be pies, it can be bread, it can be, I don't know, pancakes. Whatever you want to make that you think that they would really enjoy. It can be canning your own jam like Lauren did. It's just whatever token of our appreciation that we can deliver to bring joy to our underserved members right now, to the ones who probably feel alone and they haven't felt connected like they want to be. Some of those people made the comments that they've missed more church in the last year than they have in their whole lifetimes. And so they yearn to be part of the body, and they can't be right now. And so that's where we come in. And this is why this service project is really, really important to me. So if you hear this video and you don't sign up, you're probably going to get a phone call, an email, a text, and I'm going to bug you about it. Not because I'm going to force you to do anything, but because I want to follow up, because it is important to me that we serve as many people as we can. But on the 26th, I'm going to bring a lot of students and parents, whoever feels comfortable coming up there and baking in our kitchen. And then on the 27th is when we will do our deliveries, because the 26th is the Friday night. The 27th is Saturday. And so the Saturday we do our deliveries. If you can't come for the deliveries, but you can come to bake, that's great. If you can't come to bake, but your student can come to deliver, that's great too. Can your student deliver with you and deliver with the youth group and the people mover? Yes. This is a very flexible service project. All I need to know is sign up. If you don't want to bake at home, or if you don't have that capability, or you don't have the time, or whatever it is that you can't bake at home, but you want your student to be involved, still go sign up with your student's name, or students plural. Just put at the church when you say number of deliveries. And that's okay too. Say, my student will participate at the church. Lastly, if you want to do this as a family and have your student at the church, I've already said that is perfectly fine, but I also wanted to let you know that I can offer supplies. If you need baking supplies, just because money's tight right now, I get it. I can help you out with that. And I can make sure that you have what you need for your family to participate in this service project together. So I love it. I hope you guys are as excited about this as I am. I get really excited about it because I saw how awesome it was to deliver to some of these folks, and they were just so excited. Like Art and Becky Henley, I don't think they wanted us to leave ever. They just loved having us over. They sat us down. They were just excited to talk to us. And a lot of people were that way. The Cokers even invited us in. And so we got to see them, and it was just great. And there was 13 others, James Rush. I'm going to forget a ton of them. Paul Stump was one of them. But there was a lot of individuals we got to go see. And there's double that amount that were on our list. And there's even more that are 50 and above, that some of them may be coming to church, but they would still love that gift because we are serving within the church. And it just makes our congregation feel like that we have young people that care, and they are supporting a program that also wants to serve. And I think that's important because you guys know as well as I do that a lot of those members, as well as that we serve at the Valentine's Day event, are members that financially support our youth group, and they give to us, and they allow us to be able to function and do the things that our students are able to do and grow and participate in, and helps me disciple them in ways that are creative and also adventurous, and it helps. It's like the Acts 2 church that we're serving each other, and that's what I want to be like, where we're giving back to each other by time, whether it's money, time, baked goods, whatever it is. So this is a very important service project to me. I pray that you participate, not just with your student, also as a family. And so make sure you do that. Go sign up at the link that has been on the screen. Now, the next section is the major spring summer events. I'm not going to talk a ton about most of these. The Great Awakening's on there. Next in April, I say April, and then it's in March, 26th through the 28th, we are going to do a girls' retreat and a guys' retreat. They're going to be separate. If you're not, if you are comfortable with your student going, that is. So if I have 2 or 3 guys and that's all I'm taking with me, I'm going to get another adult and we're going to go do something just guys. I haven't fully fleshed out what it is, but we're going to go out of town. My plan for the guys is to do something outdoors. They will need probably an air mattress, potentially a tent even. So hopefully pray for warmer weather than we have now. I'm going to let Cassandra, she and I are going to plan that with the girls, and she's going to lead the girls on that trip. If you would like to be a female sponsor on that trip, let me know. I'm going to need 1 sponsor for each group. Now, if there's a lot more individuals go than I expect, then we'll get another sponsor as well. We'll take 2 sponsors with me and 2 sponsors with Cassandra. I just don't know right now because I know in March, I don't know how much better it's going to be as far as the risk of quarantine and those other things. And so even if it's a small group, it's going to be a very impactful retreat. There's going to be a lot of fun, but it's going to be off on our own, where we're spending time together, where we're having intimate Bible lessons, where we're hopefully deepening our relationship with Jesus, just feel more comfortable talking about him with each other. And hopefully I am able to, and Cassandra is able to, along with the volunteers, disciple your kids in a meaningful way by getting them out of their normal routines, out of this bubble of Bartlesville that we've been living in for a long time. And we can hopefully retreat somewhere and find an intimate way to further our relationships with Jesus. And maybe it's just getting back on track, or maybe it's furthering it. Maybe it's, maybe we have some decisions that, hey, I want to follow Jesus and get baptized. Maybe that happens. I don't know. But I think getting away from Bartlesville is important. And if I take 3 kids, I take 3 kids with me. And I am completely happy with that, because those are your students that I can get closer to, disciple, and I can hopefully, bond with further and, develop a deeper relationship with them, and they can develop a deeper relationship with me and hopefully Jesus as we walk behind him together. So that's a big announcement there. It's coming up fairly quickly. I was on the fence of not doing a retreat, but I think it's important. Then there's some things that are listed down here. I have Senior Sundays in May. We are going to do Senior Sunday, May 16th. The senior drive-through currently is scheduled for May 9th, so the week before on Sunday night. Senior Sunday will be the 16th at church. So if you have a senior in your family, then you need to plan on that being the day that they are honored. I will update the website this week, and you will see some deadlines that I will need your pictures. I will need to get with you to record your letters, and all of that information will be on that page. I will link you to the videos if you don't remember what they are. You just need to kind of remind yourself of what it is. And the drive-through will be basically you're creating their senior table that sits in the back of the auditorium, and we're going to do that outside. Most of you went to the drive-through last year. I thought it was a big hit. And with COVID still being a thing, I think it's huge that it's going to allow people to drive through and see your students. If they want to get out because they're comfortable, that's fine. But every senior and their family that did it said they liked it. And they said they appreciated being able to do that. And what I love about it, it allows our members to one by one see every senior, to say something to them, to hand deliver their present if they want to that night, or bring it the next Sunday. It doesn't matter. But it allows them to see our seniors and get, even if it's 10 to 15 seconds of individual time with all of your seniors, because I think that's important. And it helps our youth understand how important they are to our congregation, because our congregation has always loved and supported our youth, and I am so appreciative of that. And so the drive-through, as much as it is for our seniors, I think it just as big of a deal for our our congregation, our membership, to be able to come through and do that. It was important to them, and they thought it was special. So we're going to continue to do it. That's something that we developed in a COVID year that it's going to be here to stay. So just prepare on that. Senior parents, if you hear me and you would rather do the drive-through May 15th, which would be Saturday night, and then have Senior Sunday the next morning, then I am open to hearing that idea as well. I was on the fence on which one to schedule it on, so this is tentative, but May 16th, is official. May 16th is official. Okay, and then you see the rest of the things on there. The Junior Senior Leadership Retreat to Arkansas. That will be a float trip again like we did last year. I think the kids really like that. We went to Missouri last year. I want to go float the buffalo this year in Arkansas, and so that will be there the week after school gets out. I think it's the week after school gets out. I'd have to look again, but it's after school, obviously. 7th grade induction is the Wednesday of that week. The Thursday of that week. One of the things I realized with all of this and COVID is I don't see why we have to plan everything on the Wednesday, so we're going to do Thursday. It's summer, right? So Thursday will be the induction. If you do not tell the 7th graders this, I'm doing it on Thursday because I want to surprise them. They're expecting it on a Wednesday or a Sunday, right? And so, Kai knows what we would do. Kai is Aaron's kid. So Kai is expecting to get kidnapped, but he won't expect it on Thursday. So hopefully we'll be able to kidnap and do that safely. We'll make adjustments as we see fit when that time comes. Mission trip, that's a big one to circle. June 19th through the 27th. It's a day that might be 19th through the 26th. I think those are the dates. I have, it's 19th through the 26th. I have it listed here wrong in front of me. I'll fix that. Last year it was the 20th through the 27th. It's only a date earlier, and I thought that date worked really well in our calendar, and it worked really well for Damon, and so we have talked with him, and that's when we're going to do it. And then Camp Pettyjohn is July 11th through 17th. I'm going to give a pitch for this further out, but soon you're going to be able to sign up for Pettyjohn. Our session didn't fill up last year, and that's okay, but I encourage you to push your kids to go. I know some of you are like, well, I don't want to force them if they don't like it. They had a bad experience at camp. I'm telling you, Pettyjohn is different. If they went to Osage before, I'm not saying anything about Osage, and they had a bad experience, then send them to Pettyjohn, right? If they went there before and had a good experience, send them to Pettyjohn, right? The camps are different, and I understand that certain camps click with certain kids, but push your students to give Camp Pettyjohn a shot. Jody Birch is the director. I will be working with him and the other youth ministers that participate in camp to make it as impactful and as Christ-centered as possible, but also having a ton of fun. I had a lot of students that went. I say a lot of students. We had a fair amount of students that went last year. We had 11 or 12. And there's about a handful of the high schoolers that really were kind of on the fence. And if you ask them to a person, they told me that they loved camp. They were actually surprised how much they loved it. And so we already have some students that love camp, and we had some that got surprised that they loved it, and I think they're going to come back. And so I would like for this to be the camp that our students go to. If they want to go to another camp too, great, but I want our group to buy in and come to Pettyjohn the 11th through the 17th, if at all possible, because we can have some really impactful youth group time in our own circle there, as well as them branching out, meeting other Christians, and just having an awesome time. And so that camp was great. I went last year for the full week. I can fully endorse it with intimate knowledge of how it works now. And so Jody does a great job at directing. And so I hope that you trust him and you trust me when we tell you that this is a great camp that will be impactful on your student. And I had some of the best talks ever with some of our guys that went out to camp. So it was beneficial to our group as well. And then August Back to School Bash is the 14th. It's a little bit later than normal. My family is going to go on a vacation, I believe, that first week of August again. And so we'll be out of pocket and we'll move back that Back to School Bash. I'm sorry if that week inconveniences anybody, but it's the best time for our family to get away. And Cassandra starts school just after that with in-service. So that's kind of the best thing. We get through the long summer. We take that week as a family. And it was really good for us. And so we went to Washington Olympic Park last year, and it was one of the best trips I've ever been on. And it was just a really good getaway for our family. So Senior Sunday stuff is next on the list on the agenda. I already talked about it. I'm going to update the website, and you guys can go there and figure it out. Most of you that have seniors have been through a lot of these, and you kind of know the ropes, but there's a lot of questions that can be answered and will be answered on the website already, and I'll update all the information with the dates and the things that I need. Also, if you have some seniors and you have ideas for ways that we can honor them and change some things up, I'm fine with that. Doesn't mean I'll implement it, but I'd love to hear it. And we can talk through about why or why not that would be a good idea. And maybe it's a good idea that we can't execute. I don't know. Or maybe it's a good idea that'll be perfect and we do execute it and it's awesome and we keep it for the foreseeable future. So I'd love to hear your input on that. Bible studies. The Luke one ends at the end of this week. We have days 17 through 20 that we're doing throughout the week. And then we're done with the study of Luke. I loved it. Upside Down Kingdom. I like having that in my brain as I read through Luke because it talks about Luke being, the gospel in general is completely different than what we expect it to be, at least what the Jews expected it to be. And so he turned the earthly kingdom upside down and he brought the kingdom of heaven down to earth. And he gave them instructions on how to create this kingdom here on earth. And how we can do that today by following Jesus truly, right? And so I just love that idea that it's an upside down kingdom. It's not thinking how we normally would think. And Jesus taught us that maybe that's the right kingdom. It's not the one that you expected, but it's the one that we needed and the one that gives us the best way we can live. And so next we're going to do a topical study and I'll put that out by the end of this week. We'll take a week off from it. and I'll bring it back that following week, and I'll put out information, etc. Adam's Student Ministry Forums is the last thing I have on here. Obviously, we haven't done a lot of events, but it helps me because if you do your waiver now, I don't have to try to get 20 kids waivers before we go on mission trip. So if you're going to go on the retreat or your student is, I need that event permission form medical waiver. It's good for the year. I always do a new one at the start of every school year. I have one right now. I have one. So thank you to the one that got it in so far. But if you haven't, it's okay because we haven't been able to do a lot. I understand it's a different year, but please click on it. It is accessible at the link that is on your screen, and just print that off, fill it out, and bring it to me. Okay. I think that's it for now. There will be some other things that we mix in here. Again, if you're not comfortable participating in some of them, that's fine. Let me know how I can serve your kids anyway. Because I don't want to feel, I have felt, just full disclosure, super stagnant. I have felt very disconnected with a lot of them, and that pains me. I have felt, it's just different, and you guys know that. And so it's kind of wearing on me, and I'm not trying to throw a pity party for me, but I'm letting you guys know that your students are feeling it, and I think we all can tell. You may be feeling it, but I'm feeling it too. I know my family is, and so I am with you. We are all in this, and we are all having to figure out the best way to not only figure out the way we need to interact in the world and with the church, but also our families. And so I have kids, I get it. I don't have kids at youth group age, and so I'm not making those same decisions, but I appreciate you. I know that what we're doing right now as parents is difficult, and I'm constantly praying for your students, our church, our youth group, and our students' families as well. Because I think that's an important part of my job. So please let me serve your students however I can. And that can be however creative you want it to be. I know we've even driven around with students, helping them practice for their driver's test. We've, picked them up, and we've, went and ran some errands or did a service thing or went to Jude's, or I've helped with ACT stuff, right? I was a teacher, so that kind of stuff I geek out on. I like the ACT. I'm weird. And so there's all kinds of ways that I would love to help your students. If it's tutoring, if it's just fill in the blank, I want to spend time with them. And if you're comfortable with more one-on-one stuff, small group stuff, so it's a lot lesser possibility that they have to quarantine, then I'm all for it. Please allow me to minister to your family in any way. So if you need me for anything, please let me know. I love you guys, and I say that sincerely. And I know it can be cliche that you just end everything with, hey, I love you guys, I'll see you later. I do this because I love the church, I love the youth group, and I love you and your families. And please know that. And if there's any way that I can serve you, please let me know. If there's anything that we're doing that you don't like or that you want to further on or you have ideas about, please talk to me. I think I've come across as pretty approachable, but if I haven't, this is your invitation. Come to me, express your ideas, have conversations with me. Tell me, hey, I don't think you're doing this right. I don't care. We'll talk about it. I'll give you my reasoning. Maybe you'll agree with it. Maybe you won't. Maybe we come to a better agreement. Maybe you have a good idea. So I'm not perfect, and I don't claim to be. And I would love to talk to you about anything in our student ministry because I want it to thrive. So that's the parent meeting. Thank you guys for hanging on this long. I'm going to end in a prayer, and then I'll let you guys go and be done in under 40 minutes. That's pretty good. Heavenly Father, I am blessed that you have put me in a position to lead this youth ministry, and I pray that you're with my family as they also support me, and I'm thankful for them. Father, I'm thankful for the support of the families in the youth ministry and for their students, and for the support of the church as a whole. I know that you have given us the church, the body of Christ, so that we can support each other and also follow Jesus into our communities and bring other people to him. Father, I pray that we can do that effectively, whether it's a virus or whether it's not, whether the world is in turmoil or whether it is at peace. I pray that you give us the ability to make an impact for Christ. And it's in his name that we pray. Amen. Love you guys. Appreciate you and hope your family is doing well. Reach out if you need me.